Our council meeting. Mr. Clerk, we want tab Q.
Tab Q, discussion and approval for the purchase of a table for the Ancient Spanish Monastery Foundation for its annual Legacy Gala, April 12, 2014.
How much is it?
Yes. How much is it? Councilman Galvin.
I didn't ask that this. You remember I swore off ever sponsoring a table. So
your name
if
underneath.
somebody, please remove that item. I was not. If I forward stuff over to staff because people ask me, it's not that I'm sponsoring it. I'm just forwarding it over. So that's not my item.
But seriously, how much is it?
How much is it?
A bronze membership is 1,000, silver is 3,000, gold is 5, and that's only 8 tickets. If you want a table of 10, which is 10 tickets, it looks like it's 10,000.
10,000?
Yes.
What do you mean 10 tickets for 10,000?
Can we not belabor tonight?
Yeah.
I did not mean for you to put this on the agenda, so if that was the impression, I apologize.
Sure.
I respectfully ask the item be removed and not
Okay.
considered further.
Okay.
That's fine.
Well, the Spanish Monastery Foundation is on West Dixie Highway and 168th Street.
That's not city or not
And I remember the email now. I responded to the person saying, I'm not the one who makes that decision. That decision is made by city administration. So please, I'm sorry that that's been misinterpreted as my ask that it be on the agenda.
I wish I had known more about it. Since I saw that you have sponsored it, I didn't make any research thinking that you would do a presentation about it. And, okay. So, Councilman wants $10,000 for 10 people?
Can we move
And
on?
Carol,
She
we've got
said he
multiple other
moving.
ones on
Come
tonight's agenda, so let's...
What are we going to be eating?
I don't know, Mayor, but the sponsor is not the sponsor, and he's made a request for it to be removed.
I know.
Okay, so Councilman Galvin wants it out.
Okay, so tab Q is removed. Tab from the add-on agenda, tab R. Discussion and approval for the purchase of a table for the Haitian Nurses Association of Florida, HANA, 30th Annual Scholarship Fundraising and Awards Gala, April 12, 2014. Tab R.
And how much is it? Same question.
Yeah, the at least they have it in the package.
So if we buy a table of 10, it will be 1,000. Is that correct?
Okay, I have something to say about this organization. Although that I know the mayor sponsored this item, and I was about to do the same if she didn't do it. This is an organization that has been helping the city, working with Park and Recreation, and not only here. I think it's an organization that's worth us as a city to support. So.
Yeah, they've been doing health fair. At least we see what they do.
Yeah, among all
we are able to see what they've been doing. Their presence is very there in this community, and but the only thing I'm asking is that when we do those galas, if the city is buying table, I would like to see city people there. We'd like to see city employees. Would like to see if council members and employees cannot be present, we need to invite board members, people who represent us at the boards, if we cannot go. It is important for us, when we purchase those tables for us to be present at those events. And that's my only request.
If I can say something about that, Madam Mayor, the table is by for council. Each one of us has, if it's a table of 10, each one of us has 2 seats. So if I choose not to go and to send anybody or anyone from the city staff or family members or constituent or whomever that I choose to, I think that I should allow to treat mine. Or if I'm not going and I choose to say, I said, you know what, Madam Mayor, I'm not going, you can have my 2 seats. I should be able to do so, and exactly the same thing. And back then, if we're not going anywhere, I usually said, Scott, can I take your 2 seats or whomever? So I think it's something that has to be up to us as individual.
I disagree because these events are city events.
Yeah.
And the fact that they are city events, they should be represented by city people. Whether it's a board member, whether it's a staff member, whether it's a council member. And it is important for the image of the city as well.
So are you
or the
saying
police
that
department.
I cannot bring my husband with me in the city car?
No, you and a guest
saying?
can go. You can go, you with your husband, you with your child, you with anybody. But if you're not going, I would suggest that we can extend that courtesy to staff, police department, board members.
Oh, you can
so that we
suggest
present the city. And that is very important. And as a matter of fact, we're going to need to spread ourselves thin this weekend because there are several events where not all of us can be at everywhere at the same time.
I can. Don't worry.
Are we speaking about, I'm sorry, are we speaking of the additional add-ons or just the one? We have one item.
We are on tab R, Councilwoman.
So we voted for Q?
No, we removed Q because Councilman Galvin said he did not sponsor it.
I didn't remember. I clearly said I will never, ever, never, ever, never, ever sponsor another table. Staff thought that I was sponsoring it. There was miscommunication. It's been withdrawn.
So, tab R, is there a motion?
Yeah, I move it because I'm
Oh, you
going.
did.
So maybe the one that we're not going, we should not buy tables and just to buy if we don't want to sponsor it. But the one that we're going,
Those that are important, I think it's important for us to, if we can, see, as long as we don't go and spend money unnecessarily in giving bronze and diamond sponsorship, there are some organizations that are making their yearly fundraising that we should support because they have been there in the city, working with citizens of this city and do things that we can tangibly see. Those I don't mind, as long as we don't go and start giving $6,000 here, $10,000 there, because the idea was to save money to do capital improvement. Nevertheless, it does not preclude for us to support those organizations that are doing good work in the communities.
Where are we getting those money from? Because we're about to vote it on 2 or 3 more.
It's in the budget.
Really?
Where?
What budget?
Yeah, when you vote on tables and stuff like that, we have donations for community related events.
So are you saying that right now in the city bank account or in one of your folders you do have money that if we buy those
Yes.
tables that will cover it? It's
Yes.
not like
No, I don't have to go find the money. I do not have to go find
you don't have to find the money. The
No.
money is there.
Yes.
It's in the budget.
It's not budget. It's
there.
It's the community
Funds.
How much money is there in that fund?
How much?
Mr. Clerk, roll call, please.
I asked a
I
question.
haven't-
How much
I haven't
money
had
do we
any
have in that
discussion.
fund?
It
Because every week we have $4 tables. It's $4,000 every 2 weeks. That's mean it's going to be about
did.
$200,000-300,000
I
for the
did.
year. I want to know if you say the money is available. I want to know where in the budget.
Sure.
And we're
one of
spending
our-
about $30,000
Wait,
on
one
this.
at a time, one at a time.
In one of our contracts with one of our vendors, they give us money each month. There's a bottom number that they give us annually, and we have not encroached or overexpend in that area. So the money.
How much
is
money do we have
available.
now? You don't know?
I don't know how much we have in there because I can tell you what we anticipate for the year, about $40,000.
Okay.
About $40,000 is what we projected to have for the year.
That $40,000 including the turkey drive and all those things?
That's correct, sir.
Madam Keys.
Yeah, what I really do not like is add-ons like this 3 days before an event. They haven't been vetted, and we do have other organizations in our city that go through all kinds of hoops to get our money, and then they get turned down because we don't have the money, and they give financials, and they wait, and they're heard before the planning commission, and they're heard before the board, and we spend hours on this, and what's going on is they're getting around this, and at the last minute, we've got add-ons and add-ons of, we need $1,000 here, we need $1,000 there.
Madam
And
Keys,
we-
you have
we
to
really-
remember, there are two things that comes into place. First of all, this week's agenda is not the same as the other weeks because all of us were out of town, including the city manager who was taking care of the agenda. And those invitations were sitting on our desk when we left and never got looked at. So it's not a last minute thing. As a matter of fact, they were supposed to be voted way before, the agenda before, the council meeting before. So it's not that it's a last minute thing.
Okay.
Those invitations have been sitting there. Those are organizations that every year gets funded by the city. Those are nurses that have been doing health fair in our city for our residents. And whoever you're talking about who's trying to go to this board and that board, there's only one thing. Whenever an organization who is locally working with the community as a part of the city of North Miami, they are doing a fundraising event, we always said yes, regardless of whose organization it is, as long as it has a community connotation on it.
Okay.
Mr. Clerk, roll call.
Oh, did we say how much
have a
we're
motion.
allotting
$1,000.
each?
Yes.
Thank you.
We have a motion from Councilwoman Sterrill, seconded by Mayor Thundero. Councilwoman Keys.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sterrill.
No.
Councilman Galvin.
Yes.
Mayor Thundero.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Bieneme.
Yes.
And just for the record, how much are you guys sponsoring?
1,000.
Behind the table for $1,000.
Yeah, it's 125 per person. It's 1,000 for 10.
All right. That was tab R, approved. Tab S, the discussion and approval for the purchase of a table for the
We
association.
just voted for both of them.
No, no.
Maybe we got to do it.
Yeah. And my vote was only intended to be for the first one.
We have to read tab S. Discussion and approval for the purchase of a table for the Association for Development and Progress for, I can't pronounce this word. Desauvray St. Louis de Noir Banquet, April 12, 2014. That's the item.
Same thing. This is an organization that have been in existence for many years. It's from the people of the Northwest. 65% of the residents of this North Miami are from the Northwest area. So they are having their banquet at the FIU. Last year, we went, and Councilman Bland and his wife went too. It was so funny. So nice to see them there. Anyway, it's an organization that has been working in our community, and they have their banquet on a yearly basis in FIU, and they do represent, as I said, 65% of the people who are living in the city of North Miami are from that particular area that this organization is having the banquet. Okay. Do I hear a motion? Okay, so move. Do I hear a second? Thank you. Discussion?
I'm unavailable on Saturday night, and I want to know if I can give my 2 tickets to somebody.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm just
staff?
questioning. No?
And from my
A
standpoint,
constituent?
yeah, from my standpoint, I'm going to have family in town this weekend, so have at it and use the tickets that were purchased in my name, please.
so we need to really ensure that both tables at both places are filled, because there are 2 activities simultaneously that are taking place.
By the way, I just want to clarify something while we at it. That was a suggestion that you give, Madam Mayor. I want, if I have 2 seats, to be open to whomever that I want to give my 2 tickets with. So, just wanted to clarify, because I don't want to hear it if I give 2 tickets to anybody to at a certain tables, and then I feel that any council members feel offended because they don't know who's at the table. That was
Well, I think it's important when we have a table to know who's on the table.
Well, you guys can be nice and introduce yourself. That's a nice way to PR. You know, I am Councilwoman Sterrill, and this is who you are.
Mr.
and
Clerk,
then
roll
be
call.
nice.
What's the amount, Mayor?
It's 1,000.
It's
Okay.
it's a table.
It's the same amount. It's
So
a
the
table.
motion was made by Mayor Thundo, seconded by Councilwoman Sterrell, and this is a motion to approve $1,000. Roll call vote, Councilwoman Sterrell.
What region is laughing?
Councilwoman Sterrell.
Yes.
Because she's from the Northwest too.
She didn't even speak Creole.
Councilman Galvin.
Yes.
Mayor Thundro.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Bieneme.
Yes.
Councilwoman Keys.
Yes.
Item passes 5-0. Tab T, discussion regarding resignation of the city manager and the appointment of an interim city manager.
May I correct that language? It's not the resignation, it's the retirement of the city
Yes.
manager. And if I may, Mayor,
That's the second retirement he's having.
if I may, Mayor.
That's the second one, right? You retired from the police department. Now
yes,
you're
I'm
retiring
retiring
as
from
a
the city.
city police department.
The city.
Now you are retiring as a city manager. And now, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
before
Where are we? I'm sorry.
We are in
Tab
tab
T.
T, as in
I
I'm,
just
I'm,
don't
I'm
want-
hearing that retiring.
T as in Tondro.
Sure.
Okay.
I don't want, I don't want two items of discussion to lose and get caught up. First of all, it's after much deliberation, and it's a very hard and very difficult decision that I have made to officially end my tenure and service with this great city of North Miami. And first of all, it was a very difficult decision. In April of 1984, I set foot into this city, and looking at this month of April, 30 years later, it's just befitting that it's nice to have the opportunity to leave at the same month that I entered into the city. It's a very difficult decision, but it's a decision after much discussion with my family that we had decided that this is the time to leave on. I will say that I'm very grateful to have worked with this mayor and council, the previous mayor and council, the hosts of all of the city staff, the city employees throughout the years. I've seen employees that have come and gone. Some have left unexpectedly. Some have left tragically. This is a very wonderful community that I've had the privilege, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity that you have given me, that you have entrusted me in. But nonetheless, I do have to move on, and although it saddens me, I am excited to embark on another opportunity to maybe perhaps work another 30 years. So I just want to say thank you, Mayor, thank you, Vice Mayor, thank you, Councilwoman Sterrell, Councilman Galvin, Councilwoman Keys. It's been a pleasure to work with the city attorney. Dr. Claude has been, I have to say, very wonderful to me. She has been a true right hand. This city is very busy, but to have somebody that has been a right hand and been very dedicated, that I can just walk away and really allow to just be entrusted with to handle the day-to-day operations. I'm very grateful to you, Dr. Claude. No manager could ever ask for any better deputy because you know how to get things done. I can walk away and truly, the full operations of this city. I am asking for severance pay. I hope that you will grant that. And again, it just saddens me to have to go, but I am excited on the new opportunity that sits ahead of me.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. I guess everybody have learned yesterday your decision of moving forward. Usually it's pretty much what most city have in terms of managers between 2 to 4 years. Chief of police is pretty much the same thing. And I do understand and I respect your desire to move forward. I hope that the city of Miami Gardens knows what they're getting, because we do understand what we're losing here in the city of North Miami. I have known you as a police chief and as my right hand as a city manager. You've been a wonderful guidance to me. And it is with sadness that I'm seeing you gone. But again, usually they said when you respect and love somebody, you have to let them go and spread their wings and not keeping them in a cage. And that's exactly, I believe, what myself and the council are doing by letting you go. But it is not without sadness. And because of your leadership, we can say that we have a stable city, and the way that our personnel have become in such a small time brings a lot of pride to myself and also probably to you, because it's the product of your work. You can be assured that the city will continue to be running smoothly, and I am very proud of our staff, because I know usually when there's to blame, we're the first one to jump on staff. But if we want to be sincere to ourselves, we know that we have a dedicated staff, we have knowledgeable staff, we have people who are looking toward the future like us, as we have been elected. And you have asked for severance pay. This is the least that we could do after 30 years of services that you have done, you have provided to the city of North Miami as a police officer, as a chief of police, and also as a city manager. And as you put it so well, you wouldn't be able to do it on your own. You have had people surrounding you, people being your right hand when you're not there, when you're in doubt, when you need directions. And I'm so proud. And I would also suggest that we nominate Dr. Claude to be the interim city manager until we find one. That is a motion. Discussion. The severance pay that we are offering, that he deserves, I believe. Two motions? Okay. The first motion is to accept the severance pay that the city manager is asking. As a matter of fact, you were not supposed to be asking it. It should have been our duty to offer it to you after what you have done for this city. So,
so you made that motion, Mayor, and
you have question. And the second motion that I'm making under that same item is to appoint Dr. Luman Claude as the interim city manager until we search for a permanent city manager to replace Mr. Johnson.
I don't think they can both be the same motion.
I think we gotta
It's
do
one
at a
item.
time,
On the
right?
sovereign.
What is it?
You guys are doing it one at a time, I think. They're doing the first one, right?
Yeah, it's one motion and then the second motion. I don't have to repeat it twice.
Okay, so we have one motion. The first motion was moved by Mayor Thundo, seconded by Councilwoman Staley. The second motion was moved by Thundo, seconded by Councilwoman Staley.
Motion at the
So
same
let us
time.
discuss, we can discuss the first one,
Okay.
since Councilwoman Staley has questions.
That's the seventh.
We can go ahead and discuss on the severance pay that the city manager is asking for.
$1 million, sound right?
Discussion is open.
Sure, may I? Or I'll defer to the councilwoman.
Go ahead, madam.
When is your last day?
It's your mic.
Your
April
microphone.
30th. No, I'm just saying.
You're asking me when is my last day?
No, but I heard if you decided on 3 months, we want to know 3 months from what? From when?
No,
When
He wants
are
to
you,
go- he wants
according to
go
the
now.
contract?
He wants 3 months severance, and he'll leave tomorrow if we find a replacement.
yeah, 90, severance is just, it doesn't mean 90 days. It just means a severance pay. State statutes allow you to do 6 months, up to 20 weeks. I'm just asking for a severance pay of 90 days. Doesn't mean that I'm going to leave in 90 days. I am officially retiring now.
I know that.
Okay.
You guys answering a question that I did not ask. All I asked is a simple question. When is your last day?
Oh, when is my last day? I would like for my last day to be Friday,
What Friday? This Friday?
this Friday.
After tomorrow.
Not tomorrow is Wednesday.
Well,
Okay, that was.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, if I might, with professional respect, you have another job that you're headed to. That job, I assume, will pay relatively decency, commensurate with your experience. I think a severance of that large amount is just too much for somebody who's walking into the leadership position in another city. So I will not support a severance payout, though I do thank you for your years of experience, especially 30 years in this city. I do appreciate all the hard work you've put into everything.
Thank you. You're welcome.
any other discussion? Mr. Clerk?
If you allow me,
Oh.
I said something.
Sure.
else. I just for point of clarification, if we, which I totally agree with the mayor, I think that you will deserve it, but at the same time, after you leave, we still have a city to run. I want to know, since you know better than I do within the budget, if we decided to give you a 3-month severance pay right now, and then we're going to have an interim, and then we're going to have a city manager, what part of the budget that this will, the money will come from?
It will come from salary savings. We have salary savings on the police side. We have salary savings.
But those were for capital improvement.
No, salary savings is for positions that you have budgeted, but those are openings that have not been
How much money is
fulfilled.
that?
It's a few $100,000.
Is it enough to cover what you're asking?
A severance, yes.
Okay.
Out of fairness, though, that's a hard question to ask him to answer because he's the one that would directly benefit. So he's certainly not going to say, well, no, we don't have the money. You can't afford to do this.
I'm sure he's a fair person that
the
he
issue. So, you know, he's going to be the chief at a new city. He's not going to be low paid. It is a decently sized city. 3-month severance is pretty awesome to give somebody who's stepping into a new job.
You know, Councilman, I feel insulted that we are discussing this. Should we or shouldn't we? He is walking to another job, and that is his prerogative. It's because he's good. They stole it from us. It's because he's worth it. And he's going to a new job. I'm not asking how much he's going to get paid. Why should we do this? We owe it to the guy. I mean, days, nights, weekend, he was working, but he went beyond the line of duties to answer our questions, getting into our tantrums, making sure that that city is stable.
You mean your tantrum?
Mine? Mine? My tantrum, your PMS.
No.
Okay, I can start giving a long list of what he has to put up with. And I think it is insulting for us now to discuss, should we spare him with a few $1,000s as a severance pay?
May I speak? Because you're saying a few $1,000s. How much is 3 months severance pay? If
About
nobody's
600 or 700?
700 what?
$700,000.
Oh, no.
No.
600,000?
No.
It's more in the neighborhood of $60,000, I'm going to
Yes.
guess.
Yes.
Yes.
And this is why I'm insulted.
But he gets a great salary. How many people in the room would love to make close to $200,000 a year?
How many people in
Just
the
about
room do
everybody.
you know that can do the job that he has been doing with this city?
I had the
Nobody
floor.
else that's in
I had
this
And
the
room.
against
floor,
most of the residents
All right,
here
let's-
who had spoken.
Don't
I
do that. Let's
Ma-
just
Madam-
vote. If we
Well,
don't,
I
if we
have the
disagree, and
floor.
then it's
I
gone.
didn't get to finish speaking because I could
Don't
just
do that. That's
please.
not nice.
That's-
I'm concerned about our budget. I didn't get to say thank you. You've made my job easier. You've made me look good, and I want to thank you. You've been very good to me, and you've been good to my district and the city. So thank you. I would be willing to reduce that. I'm concerned about the budget, and I'm also concerned we have a MOC issue coming up that could cost us easily $50,000 to $100,000 in legal fees. And on the way over, I was just like thinking, Where are we getting the money to defend that? And I'm really concerned to be just doing that. So I would make a friendly motion to do like 1 month severance pay.
Mr. Clerk, how do we go about doing that?
Mr.
Do
Clerk,
you
Mr.
accept the
Clerk,
motion
roll
of
call,
the-
please.
Mayor, we need to quantify a month, so we're doing a roll call for 3 months or 1 month? Which month?
The motion was for 3 months.
Okay. So the motion we're making is to approve a 3-month severance pay. Councilwoman Sterrill,
Yes.
Mayor Thunrow,
Yes.
Councilman Galvin,
No.
Vice Mayor Bienemé,
Yes.
Councilwoman Keys.
No.
Item passes 3-2. Congratulations, Mr. Manager, 3 months.
Thank you,
so-
Mr. Manager, again for your service.
So the other motion that needs to be voted on is a motion to appoint Dr. Claude as interim city manager. The motion was made by Thunrow. It was seconded by Sterrill.
Discussion, anybody?
And for how long the interim gonna be? Can we set up a time for that?
It's just a desire of this council. Traditionally, the deputy city manager would always be the interim. Again, I cannot speak the service and the knowledge that Dr. Claude has. At that point in time, the council would then, I recommend at the very next council meeting that you give direction to Dr. Claude as to whether you would want to utilize a search firm to do a search, in which traditionally the deputy city manager, which would be the interim, could also apply. Or you may say that we want to sit on it for 90 days and then come back and revisit the issue as to how you would like to go about a selection process.
And can we set, it will be illegal if we set up a time for the intern?
You can set up a process right now, and you can say whatever the council desires in terms of a time frame.
Okay, I don't think
if you
we-
bring in a search firm, you say, you know,
Okay,
I
see,
begin
the
the
thing is,
process for.
I think we're going to open the position and have people apply for it and put up a committee that will do the triage, and then the board will decide.
Well, that's what he
That's what we
was
usually
saying.
Okay.
But the
So
search firm would do the process in terms of having the initial, receiving the initial
Yeah, but-
applications, doing the advertising, receiving the initial applications, doing the initial interviews, and then they usually recommend a list of whatever your desire is to the council for the council to make a final decision as to who that person would be.
That's one of the way we can do it. If
yeah.
we can be at a council meeting, appoint
Oh,
anybody.
yes, you certainly can do it that
Yeah,
way as
we
well.
don't, we don't
Yeah.
have to go by
No.
that process.
You don't have
So
Yeah.
can we just go through this now and then we come back with it the next council meeting to know exactly what we want to do instead of staying here 10 o'clock and this.
No,
I
not
mean,
staying.
11?
We
11
we
o'clock.
discussing. I don't think we
So-
appointing a city manager.
We
No,
are
that's not what I
appointing
said.
an interim city
That's what we're
manager.
doing.
What I
I
just-
know what we're doing.
Okay, so now we need to vote on the principle of
I'm not
appointing.
finished. I'm not finished, Madam Mayor.
So make it, go ahead, finish then.
City Attorney, can we
Yes, sir.
set up a time limit?
Yes.
Okay.
What does that mean?
I can say we put an interim for 90 days. If after 90 days we don't have another person, we can reappoint another interim.
Oh, okay. Sure.
That's what it is. And can we put a clause that if we appoint an interim right now, let's say we say 90 days, that person cannot apply for the permanent position?
We-
so
we-
You
familiar.
say we can
Yes, you
set
can.
up policies.
We up here can do whatever we want to do. She doesn't have
But
to tell
let
us
us
what to
this,
do.
we are talking.
You asking
just wanna
her.
vote.
You asking her
What do
what
you want?
No. I said you asking
She
her.
can pay for me to ask her a
But
question.
this is not legal. This is policy decision.
It's
She's-
illegal to ask
No.
a question?
But this is not, no, what I'm saying,
Can I
this
finish?
is not a legal question.
Okay,
Thank you.
excuse me. There's a motion on the floor to appoint Dr. Luman Claude as the interim city manager until we do a search and find a new city manager. That motion was
Second.
second by,
Councilwoman Sterrett.
For
thank you.
discussion.
And
For discussion.
By
You
the
don't
way,
want
that's-
discussion,
By the way,
right?
that's mean it's exactly the same thing. Hold on. When you
Mean
say
what?
second, it means you second the motion. Second the
Okay.
motion for discussion.
You don't want any
second it.
discussion on it.
I'm done.
You have the floor, Madam Mayor.
Mr. Clerk.
Councilman Galvin,
No.
Mayor Thundro,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sterrett,
Yes.
Councilwoman Keys,
No.
Vice Mayor Bienemay.
No.
Item fails 3-2. Now,
Can,
I'm sorry. Item fails 2-3.
I'd like to place into nomination for interim city manager the name of Aleem Ghani, our public works director. I think Mr. Ghani has a wealth of experience of the inside of this city and would hit the ground running. So I'd like to nominate Mr. Ghani.
and I second it.
You open for discussion?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think that's a good move, by the way. I think Mr. Ghani it's very well informed and understand the city. But I think that having someone for the past how many years as your deputy, and you don't feel that she's qualified even for a couple of months, when according to the city manager, she's the one that has been running the city. When he's not around? Seriously?
But I don't know if I have the floor, Madam Councilwoman. I think the deputy city manager still going to be our deputy city manager. And if I'm not mistaken, you voted before while she was there to appoint another city manager. You did that before.
She didn't want to. She didn't want it.
Okay, but I didn't know that, but you voted before.
I'm just telling you
I
right
don't
now.
think that's an
Did
issue.
you-
And
We're not going to have that
we're
fight
talking
here.
about an interim.
Excuse
We're
me.
talking about an interim,
Excuse
not
me,
a
Mr.
permanent
Bien-Aimé.
position.
Mr. Bien-Aimé. We're not going to have a kid fights here. We need to discuss it as adult and to move on with it. It's almost 11 o'clock. Everybody wants to go home. And Mr. Ghani, I wouldn't like you to feel you are right in the middle of a very difficult situation where the impression that wants to be made is that maybe they don't want you versus another person. It's only clear that we suggest that Dr. Claude be the city manager for several reasons. Although I know your qualifications, I've been around with you on several occasions. You know your files. There are many pending grants that are going on that you know very well. I don't want you to take anything personal. Please, because we understand the game that is being played here. Mr. Clerk, roll call, please.
Motion was made by Councilman Galvin, seconded by Vice Mayor Bien-Aimé. This motion is to appoint Aleem Ghani as interim city manager. Roll call vote. Vice Mayor Bien-Aimé.
Yes.
Mayor Thundro.
No.
Councilman Galvin.
Yes.
Councilwoman Keys.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sterrett.
Yes.
Item passes 4-1. Congratulations, Guy. Okay, Mayor, I think that concludes the agenda.
What happened?
Smiling soon.
I'm making a motion for us to start the search as soon as possible.
I'll second that, but I don't want to get into a fight or discussion tonight. I'm so tired.
We don't want to get into a kid fight. Let's do reports, council reports. Councilwoman Keys.
Quick report. I want to invite everybody to the Greater North Miami Chamber of Commerce luncheon. Next Thursday is the Women of Empowerment, April 23rd. Different location, please, everybody. We're going to have our luncheon at noon at the FIU Coven Center. The women being honored that day will be Jan Solomon from FIU, Commissioner Sally Heyman, Marlon Bestien from FAM, and myself was nominated. So I would like, it's one of our fundraisers, and we would like all of you to attend. Invite them. Thank you.
That concludes your report?
That concludes my report.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay, Mr. Galvin.
Thank you very much, Madam Tondro, and thank you everybody tonight for the words. Thank you. For the words on behalf of my dad. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Sterling.
I don't have anything.
You can come with your time switch. You can bring your time switch.
Oh. What is it, a motion? I'd like to make a motion to start the search. I love my city, man. I love my city. We're full of drama. I like to make a motion. How many times do I have to make a motion to start searching for a city manager as soon as possible? So I think that the process should not take more than 30 days or 60 days. What is it, Mr. City Manager?
Yeah, can we come back at the next meeting with a specific plan, a time frame? I agree with the councilwoman to do it fast.
Through the mayor, councilwoman, usually I can get with Mr. Ghani to make some proposals to you at the very next council meeting. But usually what cities do is they would hire a search firm. A search firm, if you remember the way Mr. Benford was selected, they come in, the search firm will interview all the council members, kind of discuss with you what type of time frame you would like to have. At that point in time, they will make a decision on the time frame, and they would immediately begin the process. That process will be what the individual, the consultant, would get your recommendations of how you would like to select, and they would pretty much put together what you would like and how you would like the process to be. It's very smooth, it's very user-friendly, and that's what I would recommend.
Okay. I just made the
But
motion.
even if we're doing the search, that's not gonna still allow a council member to just make a motion and appoint anybody.
You can do that at any given time. You
Okay.
could come up and say, I want to make a motion to stop the search. I want to make a motion for this person to be the city manager.
Okay.
You can make a motion now if you want, by the
I'm
way.
not
You didn't
making a
have to
motion.
do an interim.
No. After I know.
Okay.
I know what
I
to
see you
do and
asking.
when to
Come
do
on,
it.
guys, council reports, please.
I made the motion. Nobody's second.
No, I did.
Oh, okay.
She's directing you to start with the search ASAP for a city manager.
We will procure
Yeah, but what?
the services.
Who's gonna
It's a
do that?
direction.
To who?
Staff would do that. Staff will go out. I recommend Colin Basinger. That's who you used
That's what
before.
we always use.
You used him before. Over the next day, I will make contact with him if this council.
No problem. Go ahead
desire-
and do
Okay, I will make
everything you want
contact
to
with him and have him to immediately begin the process.
Okay.
Good. No, that's just recommendation. No,
Recommendation.
Okay,
direction.
all right. So I'm going to remove the motion. no?
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Mr.
Sorry.
Bien-Aimé, are you done with your report,
Yes,
madam?
yes.
Mr. Bien-Aimé?
And I just wanna let everybody knows that on Wednesday the 16th, and I'm gonna have a food drive on Griffin Park, and everybody's invited. all residents of North Miami. You just need to bring your ID. It's going to be Wednesday from 9 to 12 in the morning.
Tomorrow?
Wednesday,
Tomorrow?
the 16th, from 9 to 12 at Griffin Park.
Does that
It's
conclude
going to
your
be
report,
me
sir?
and Farm Share. That concludes my report.
Mr. Clerk?
I just wanted to give you guys a brief history about Johnson and I. As a young kid, when I was a Florida State student, one of the first times that I met Johnson, he knew me through other means, but we're not going to discuss that. When I was growing up in North
He
Miami.
knew peanuts. Go ahead.
But anyway, when I was a Florida State student, I was being harassed by some guy, I guess this rainbow cop, who was bothering me. He kept on giving us tickets, yada, yada, yada. It turned out that the neighbors behind, I was in Blinn District at the time, they had some kind of grow house, and because our names were the same, they were bothering me. And I remember speaking to one of the chiefs here, and the chief was like, look, the only one who will care about this is Johnson. Go speak to him. He's a major, because I don't care. That's what the chief told me. And so he's obviously not here anymore. But I went to Johnson's office upstairs in the City of North Miami Police Department, and we sat there for about 2 hours having discussions. And at the time, I was a nobody. I was a sophomore college student at Florida State University. And Johnson treated me as if I was the mayor. And I remember, I don't know if you remember, Galvin, but at the time I was working at Parks and Recs. And Councilman Galvin, I came here to speak to Councilman Galvin about that episode. And Councilman Galvin referred me to the police department, and we had that discussion. I saw your brother's picture on the wall with Bill Clinton, and you were telling me. And it was just so funny. 6 years later, we become colleagues. And I had a very good working relationship with Russell Benford, an even better working relationship with you. And even outside of my department, you and I would discuss issues in other departments, and we'll give each other advice. You know, we worked as true colleagues. You're about maybe, let's say, 5 years older than me, but you treated me as if I was your equal, even when I was up there and I was a nobody. And I think that, believe me when I say, we always need great cops. You are a remarkable cop. Burgess, Jariga, Rosen, they're all remarkable cops, and they came under your leadership, and I know why. Because that's what you are. So I remember that, and you remember when they were deciding whether or not to make you city manager, I reminded everyone, if you put a person in power, you need a person who would respect individuals as equals, despite the fact that they're technically not equals. And that's the kind of guy you are. I think you've been blessed. You've always had opportunities because you are, in fact, a great person. The city will, in fact, miss you. A lot of people don't have the character that you have. A lot of people, when they are in a position of power, they think they can abuse it and treat people any way they want. You're not that way. And that's why everyone here loves you. And that's why God will always bless you. Continue being the great guy you are. And I'm happy that I was able to serve with you. You never know. We may serve in the future again. But from what I understand, you're there at the Miami Gardens to stay. And you're great. That's all my report is. And it was great having you. Thanks a lot, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you. That was nice. Madam Attorney.
Good evening. As you all are well aware, the MOCA Board of Trustees has filed a lawsuit against the City of North Miami. I am recommending that we move into, as early as next week, into executive session to examine our options, discuss strategy, and move forward with defending and counteracting the litigation.
How long would it take if we want to have an executive meeting on Friday? I think next week is way too long.
I must say, in all due deference, my father's service is on Friday,
On
so
Friday.
I beg, even if it's Saturday, Sunday, or Monday.
I think we can wait until next week, Madam Mayor.
I certainly am
think-
available Monday evening.
I think we can.
Okay, you want, because you have to do the sunshine.
Yeah,
thingy?
so, well, we were just served today, so we would need an opportunity to.
Do we really need to do the sunshine advertising?
Yes.
Because the sun has been dim lately. Go ahead.
So I recommend that we do it next week. We received the complaint this afternoon, so we need some time to examine the issues and so forth. So I would recommend that we do it
For
next
Monday.
week.
Okay, so go ahead and advertise it in order for everybody to be aware that we're going to have a sunshine. I don't see why. A sunshine meeting here in the city.
A shade
thank
session.
you. Thank you.
Yes.
Um,
And then
I want to take the opportunity to...
I'm
Oh.
not finished.
Oh, okay.
And I just wanted to I'm not going to say very many words because I think I will get emotional, but I just want to thank the manager.
We want to see you cry.
No, you're not going to see
cry,
me cry.
Cry.
You know, coming here 2 years ago, I don't think I could have asked for a better partner in terms of having a manager to work with, to bounce ideas off of, and just to have somebody that I can trust and that has the best interest of the city and I can work with. So I will miss you. I love you. I appreciate you, and I wish you all of the best.
Thank you. Yeah. I just wanted to. I didn't do any report myself. I didn't do my report. I just remember I did. He hasn't. No, he's gonna cry when he does his. So let me speak first.
Okay.
I don't want you to cry. Just to thank city staff for the wonderful relay we had on Saturday at the Griffin Park. It was a wonderful event. Unfortunately, we didn't have much advertising regarding that thing coming into the community. But I'm hoping that next year with the American Cancer Society, we'll be able to have a grandiose type of event. I'd like to thank the sponsors as well, because without them, this event wouldn't be possible. Not only those who have donated money, but also those who have come to perform, to maintain an event from 3 o'clock in the afternoon until 10 o'clock at night. And it was 11 o'clock at night. Those who donated food, who donated their time, the JCs were there. And I did know that my dear newly friend, Annie Montgomery, was a survivor of cancer. I found out on Saturday, and I'm so proud of you for hanging there. And I always told how tough of a woman you have been throughout the whole treatment and things. I just have to say kudos to all of the survivors of cancer. And I'm hoping that this city will really take at heart the initiative of raising money for a search for cancer cure. If there's anything today that is the #1 killer in the United States, is cancer. Even when you have HIV or AIDS, you don't die as fast as people are dying with cancer. And this is a matter that affects all of us some way or the other. And I am really grateful to the city staff for donating their time. I mean, most of the staff were there on Saturday. And if you go on my Facebook page, you'll see city manager as a king with the crown. I have it posted on Facebook. It was a very nice event. And again, thank you all for doing it. I'm taking the opportunity as well to invite you on April the 25th at the Joe Celestine Center from 3:30 to 6 p.m. to a finance opportunity workshop that we are doing. It has to do with businesses. Those of you who want to create new business, or who have a business who don't know how to go about it, there will be not only people that are there that are going to assist you, but also there will be opportunity for you to have some grant money to start a business. Is that correct, Mr. Prudhomme? And we're doing this in conjunction with Commissioner Jean Monet's team, the North Miami CRA, the Haitian American Chambers, and of course I'm asking all those of you who speak on the radio to announce things, to ensure that this is one of the things that we announce to make it a success, as we have always done. And we are back from Tallahassee. It was a very successful days. As a matter of fact, I was out from the prior Friday going to the MPO seminars. I was told it was going to be boring, and I had a wonderful time. I've learned a lot. Now I can challenge Mr. O'Brien anytime when it comes to MPO issues. I know so many things, and I got my certificate to prove it. Then we went to Tallahassee. I want to thank State Representative Campbell for hosting us. We have had the grandiose red carpet type of reception. We were recognized on 3 occasions in the House, and she ensured that we have all the meetings that we needed to have with several stakeholders, especially those that we have grants in. And I want publicly to thank her for not only the way that she has received us, but for making it possible for us to go and lobby for the grants that we have pendings. And that concludes my report.
Mayor, can I give my report?
Just before you, City Manager.
Okay.
Oh, you talk too?
Can I,
Yes, I do.
can I give my report first, Dr. Claude?
Can I say something while you're
Oh,
doing-
okay.
We want to torture you since you're leaving.
Since you're leaving, you need to have the last word.
Okay.
I want to thank you for the time that I have to work with you. And I thank you for entrusting me with a lot of things in the city to manage the city when you're out and when you have other things to do than the day-to-day operation of the city. And I believe that I did a great job.
Excellent.
Excellent job that I can always proud of, and I serve the city of North Miami well. And the job of being second, yesterday I was talking to my husband, and what he said to me, you have been co-pilot for a while, and the job of the co-pilot is to serve as a pilot when the pilot cannot, and to land the plane. I have not been given the opportunity tonight to land the plane because the pilot cannot, and as a co-pilot, I have not been given that opportunity. I thank you, the member of the council, who have confidence in me and wanted to vote for it, for me to lead the plane. But I want to say to the whole city of North Miami, mayor and council, resident, and everyone, I want to tell them that the job of deputy city manager that I have done for 5 years, and chief of staff for 5 years, and administrator at the city of Miami for 4 years, 14 years in government, and earn a PhD at Penn State in community and economy development, all that has prepared me to serve any city and to serve it well. Even I don't have the opportunity to do it tonight, I have the opportunity to face so many challenges, to brave so many things, to compete and to win. I will compete and I will win.
Amen.
Thank you, Dr. Claude.
That's the language of a sister.
Yeah, you kind of helped tone me down a little bit. I wanted to address that. I want to say that thank you, Mayor and Council. Thank you, city residents. I love you. I'm going to miss you. Annie, Carol, I was so happy that I got to come over at the end of that street and put in that parking lot that bugged me for years. So I have spoke to all of you independently, and I have thanked you personally for how you have made me. Every one of you have added value to me, and I just can't, words cannot express it. Thank you for allowing me to go this early. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And as I told staff, you may see council debating with each other, but don't interpret that. It just means they really care about the issues that they have, and I stand on that. So really thank you very much. I am supposed to attend a leadership conference with a couple of staff members that was already pre-planned. I will be attending that conference, but I will not have the city pay for that conference. Although it's already paid for by the city, I will be attending that conference, but I will be paying for it, and I will make sure that the finance department shows the receipts and the reimbursement. I have to go because I am an executive member of that conference, and they're expecting me. But I will reimburse the city what is already, what they've already paid for. I think it's the fair thing to do. I would like for you all to, at some point in time, to consider the early retirement incentive plan for the police department. They did take a vote on it. They are one of our unions. It only impacts a few members. It's only a handful that I think that deserves the same opportunity to have an early retirement incentive plan as the other unions did. So I hope that you do consider that in the future. And I want to say that all of our directors and managers, whether it's Mr. Ghani, whether it's any of the directors that you have, you could have picked any one of them tonight to be your interim city manager, and they would have done an excellent job, an excellent job. So Mr. Ghani, I can't say that that's any different. He's going to do an excellent job as your interim. I never disagree with council openly, but tonight I have to say that Dr. Claude, I would have said more, but I let her handle it. As a person that has been in this city, that worked for 3 city managers, although the staff would do an excellent job, nobody would do the superb job that she would do because she's already been doing it. And that would be the only open disagreement that I would ever have with this council.
You know we are a political assembly.
I do.
You know that.
I do, but
We're
I
not
just
having a
have
discussion,
to. I just have to. But
Please
nonetheless, I do respect your decision. I will work with Mr. Ghani. Although this is it for me, Mr. Ghani will be able to call me, and any of you all, please call me. I'm next door. I'm a part of this city. I'm not leaving. Anything you need, any questions that you have on a past item, last item, I will be here. I promise you that. I will be here for you to provide any type of advice, share information, and that's for staff and anybody. Thank you very much, and I love you all. Councilman, I won't be able to be there at your father's because of the conference, but my condolences goes out to you. I met your father, a very fine gentleman. We talk about being in the Midwest, and I'm certainly going to miss seeing him at events that I was customary to see him. And my condolences sincerely goes out to you.
Thank you.
I love you all. I love the South. Thank you. Good night.
Come and see you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Thank you again. You have great challenges ahead of you. We know that the position that you are taking, it's a very challenging one. The world or the entire state of Florida will be looking up onto you because you are going to be leading the police department of the 3rd largest city in the state of Florida that has been facing many challenges throughout the past year or so. And we know that you can do it, and we know that you are going to make it. You're going to make us proud, and I'm glad that you are just next door. Whenever we need you, we know where to go and knock on. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Let's go. Good night.